Hi guys, it's Colette. Welcome back to my channel, and today is the weekly tarot card for the week commencing Monday the 2nd of September 2019. We're into September. We've got the autumn or fall backdrop on because I'm kind of done with summer. I really need autumn now. First of all, I hope people are safe from weather conditions that are hitting in various places in the world. While I'm doing this today, Sunday, we know that there's a very large storm about to hit Florida, etc. And I do hope you're all safe and that you just are safe. It's as simple as that, and we'll all be sending our thoughts and a lot of prayers to that area, and just hope that the storm calms down. My first spirit name that I was given is Quiets the Storm, and I was told that's because I can quiet other people's storms. I do know weather, but I'll try and quieten some storms, even if it's within people, by sending some healing and love this week. Anyway, we have the Chariot. Whoa, what a brilliant card. This is the card for the 2nd of September for a week. Now, the Chariot card 7 is just brilliant. In the traditional cards, it has a charioteer, and the chariot is sometimes drawn by horses or by sphinxes or whatever. And it's about control. It's about taking control of your situation and running your own life as such. Now, in the Rorik deck, he goes one better, and there you have a Formula One car with the motoring helmet on it, and if you look closely, if you can bring that up, you'll see there's almost like the galaxy or the universe on the visor. It's just a fantastic card to have out, and it does follow on quite nicely from the 9 of Swords of the week that we've just come through. I think the world was hit quite drastically by the 9 of Swords, by a lot of situations that happened in the news in various countries, feeling a sense of powerlessness, feeling as though mentally people were going crazy because of the pressure and the stress of living in this modern world. That was all there. And personally, with families, I saw so many people have so many little problems that built up to big problems, either about their houses or about finances that went missing, all sorts of stuff. It very much, when I look back in the cards, it very much felt like a 9 of Swords week. And I would say in the world stage it has been as well. There have been quite a few strategical missteps that have brought out that anxiety and stress and fear. So what we needed this week was a major arcana card, and one that would allow us to feel as though we're getting control back, and that is the Chariot. Thank goodness, eh? Now, what it will mean is that, for the last few weeks, it's been somebody needs to take control, somebody needs to do something, and that's all over the world, whether it's Venezuela, USA, the United Kingdom at the moment. It's completely bonkers most places, apart from maybe Canada, but you know what I mean. It's like, it's bonkers. We as the people are not feeling in control of what's going on with governments. But it's bigger than that. There's a sense of hearing so much about climate change and the environment and all the things that have happened there that maybe we haven't known enough about, or we haven't listened enough about, and certainly our world leaders have not. But this week ahead, there's a controlled element coming in all levels. First of all, it comes from within. We need to take control of our own selves. If there's things that have been going out of hand, if we've let things kind of roll for a while, then this card allows us the energy of saying, no, I'm really going to drive my own car. And then a wee bit, one of the silly ways of this card is a great card if you're sitting a driving test this week. It can give you that wee bit extra control that you need to pass. But really it's about feeling that you're taking control of your life back and that you've got the energy to do that. There's no good just feeling that we want to do it. We need the energy behind it. But this is a number 7 card. It's got a lot of spiritual energy behind it. It's got a lot of sense of worthiness behind it. The one thing that the charioteer in the Chariot card is very laid back or apologetic. The charioteer is out to win the race, and definitely he will win the race whatever he has to do it. But again, with this card, there's the ideal of a spiritual flow of good energy through it. And I think we've been holding out for a hero, and maybe the hero will be there in the week ahead. Who knows? But I'd like to look back and see that maybe there was either one country or some heroes that stood up and said no. I mean, this card is perfect for the young men and women, and older, but mainly young men and women we're seeing in Hong Kong at the moment. I hope the Chariot helps them. So that's the bigger picture. There's a degree of control coming back. There's people saying, I'm not going to take this anymore, and we're going to do this, and this, and we're going to win the race. Now, the race might not be winnable this week, but certainly the process and the hard work will have started, and that will be excellent for us all. If we look at the general cards, the general aspects in work, career, it's about taking control of the reins of where you want to go in the race. A lot of universities starting back this week, a lot of people going back to school. This is a great card for that sense of, I'm doing this to take control of my life. I didn't want to live that way. I want to push myself forward. And because of that, it's absolutely fantastic. And I absolutely adore it for that. So whether you're in work or you're in college or university or you're taking extra knowledge in some way, this card's influence will give you the determination, the self-determination to take yourself forward and have a wee bit more control in your life, both now but for the longer term future. If you want a new job, it can help with that too, but it's not necessarily brand new things. It can be taking control of inherent situations where you are and moving forward with them. Excuse me. Right, if we look at health, I very much see the sense of the Chariot being about mobility, how fast you can move, and whether your chariot is carrying you well. And of course in health and in human capacity, the body, particularly the lower body, is your chariot. Well, the body is the chariot for your spirit, but in a health point of view, this tends to give me people needing to look after hips, knees, ankles and feet. And again, it can be a very, very successful card for anybody that's undergoing surgery in any of those areas in the week ahead. Absolutely love it. The only thing I would say is I do also see sort of potential for little clustered headaches in that visor, and something I would like to pull out that won't affect that many people, but I've noticed it over the 35-40 years that I've worked with the tarot now. I've always felt like the Rorik deck, it has a sense of fine control. If you're in a Formula 1 car, that's the old hearing playing up. I don't hear the end of words, but it's not a card, it's a car. So if you're in a Formula 1 car and you turn the wheel big style, you're going to flip the car. It's about minute control. So I believe you can fill me in if you're a Formula 1 driver, or Formula 2 or 5 or Z or whatever it is, but you need fine control. And sometimes if this card's come out and I felt a negative vibe from it, it can be actually saying that the person is losing fine motor control, and that can be the start of a Parkinsonism or a sense of balance problems. You know what I mean? And you know, maybe we'll hear more even from that aspect of the fine motor control problems coming out, even with Trump in the week ahead. So we just have to wait and see. But if you've got an elderly person round about you and they seem to be maybe falling a wee bit more, or they're not able to maybe smile as much, or they're having problems cutting their dinner or whatever, have a wee think about the aspect of this energy on the fine motor control. If you're looking for a relationship, get out there, get on your glad rags, get out and take control of your life. And even if that's a case of realising that you've done this, you've done that, you've done whatever to bring the type of partner towards you, try something else now. Take control of the situation. Also a very good time for putting up the intent for a partner. And, you know, do a good intent. Make sure that you put in what you would want from a spiritual and emotional point of view. If you're already in a relationship, this can be good if you're working together, but if you're not, it can bring in like kind of power surges. One person wants to drive that way, the other wants to drive the other way, you know, in a kind of a way that can bring a fork in the road. So you have to watch with this card with long-term relationships that are past their best, because the Chariot card will not necessarily bring them into the one lane again. It will possibly take them in separate directions, but with this card it's always the best option. It's a case of, you know, you're running out of road, let's take control and move forward with your own life. But if you're loving partnership and you're together, then this will give you the potential to not have a backseat driver. Well, my analogies with this card are going overboard, definitely. Anyway, money, take control of finances. Don't buy very expensive cars unless you can afford it. And taking control can mean that you can really start budgeting very, very well. The Chariot doesn't allow you to do anything by half, so it's not like saying, well, I'll maybe do this a wee bit. It's like getting out the finances, budgeting. I'm not having that coffee there, I'm not doing that. I'm really being focused, because one of the main parts of this card is focus. Focus to take you forward. Focus on self-determination, and that can be used very well for money and financial situations in the week ahead. Spiritually, it gives you the focus, and I'm going to use it certainly for things that I want to develop with the channel. Maybe make the psychic development classes that wee bit harder for the autumn ahead, and take you with me on that, maybe doing more journeying with you. And there's things I want to do with this spiritually for myself, and I also want to really tear ahead with the Afterlife book, because it is coming along, but it's not coming along as fast as I would like. But I want it to be quality, and I want it to be the book it's meant to be. So I'll use the Chariot, the focus of this, to think of things about myself, some self-care, think about the channel, go on with the book, and then also commit to other spiritual practices. So yeah, it's one of my favourite cards in the deck. Absolutely adore it, and I hope that you'll find the benefit of it. So remember the keywords: self-determination, focus, truth to power, the sense of moving forward with the strength behind you for what you know is right. Think of Ben-Hur in the Chariot race. I know that's an old film, but those of you over about 50 might know about it. That Chariot race to me is the Chariot card. And if you don't know what we're talking about, Google it and watch the Chariot scene from Ben-Hur on on YouTube and then come back and have another look at that card and how you feel on it. Right, so if you like the way I read the tarot, my book, Tarot Novice to Pro in One Book, is by Colette Clairvoyant, is available kind of everywhere online. It's been out too long to be in physical bookshelves anymore. And I hope you have a very self-empowering week, and don't let anybody else drive your chariot. So many blessings. I'll get this lined up. Many blessings now. Bye.